when we deal with oils and waxes and how it affects human health. When we start looking at this, the first word we have to understand is a lipoprotein. A lipoprotein is a protein that has a lipid attached to it. They are used to transfer fat in body fluids. They will transfer cholesterol, phospholipids, and triglycerides. Remember, these are materials that are not water soluble, so there has to be a way to transport it from point A to point B. We have got two basic kinds of lipoproteins. We've got what we call the low-density lipoproteins. The low-density lipoproteins are between 22 and 27.5 nanometers in diameter. They are composed of multiple proteins. Each molecule can transport 3,000 to 6,000 fat molecules. They can take quite a bit of fat from point A to point B. They become important like that. However, one of the things about low-density lipoproteins is they can invade the endothelium of the blood vessel. They can oxidize. When they do that, they start to form hardened materials that are not good for your health. If we look at this drawing of a capillary, this talks about the sequences and the progression of atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis is hardening of the arteries. In the beginning, you get small amounts of fat accumulating. It tends to bring in more fat on top of that. Eventually, you will get an intracellular lipid accumulation with a core of extracellular lipid. Remember, lipid is not water soluble. It creates a problem. This is mainly due to growth by lipid accumulation. Then what happens is you can get this lipid core, and this lipid core can puncture through the blood vessel. As it does that, you will get release of lipid onto the inside. Lipid on the inside is going to plumb up the works. It's not going to let things go properly. So this is the progression of disease inside of the blood vessel. This gets to be quite a problem. In the end, you get increased smooth muscle and collagen formation. This is in compensate. As you do that, you get a larger and larger area, you get less and less material flowing through it. It becomes problematic. At some point, it's going to be clinical where you're going to have to get it treated. These are very common in people of middle to older age. When you get this, you get macrophage invasion because the macrophages try and fight off whatever is in there. The macrophages can actually cause the explosion of the material outwards. As it's trying to clean things up, it's going to weaken the wall. You can have a problem. We also have what we call high-density lipoprotein. The high-density lipoproteins, you've got 80 to 100 protein molecules together. Each of these molecules transport up to hundreds of fat molecules. They are quite good in moving things around. They remove fat from cells. As they remove fat, they're taking it back out to be processed. HDL is considered good. LDL is not. You can see why, because these are removing the fat out of the cells instead of allowing the fat to deposit. We also have what we call cholesterol. Cholesterol is a 4-ring fatty acid. You can see the format in here. Cholesterol is used to stabilize membranes. As it stabilizes membranes, it can also harden arteries. It becomes a very important molecule to know where it's coming from and how much you have. All of these together can create the formation of plaque. Plaque are little hard areas within the blood vessels. These hard areas in the blood vessels need to be dealt with before they create a life-threatening situation. Fats, cholesterol, health all go together. You have to have fat in your diet. By the same token, we get these problems with health associated with them.